Imagine studying all night for a big test, determined to do well the next day. Then you arrive at school and your friends ask you to skip class with them. In that moment, you face a choice: follow the crowd or stay focused on your future. That moment is called peer pressure, and almost every student experiences it at some point. Welcome to ETP Next Generation, a mentorship series created to help students build confidence, discipline, and direction for life. In today's video, we're discussing a challenge that quietly shapes many decisions in school environments: peer pressure. Understanding how it works and learning how to respond to it can make a meaningful difference in the choices students make every day. Schools are naturally social places. Hallways are filled with conversations, laughter, and groups of friends moving from class to class. These environments are where friendships develop and identities begin to form. Being part of a group often provides encouragement, support, and a sense of belonging. However, the same environment that creates friendships can also create pressure to act in ways that do not always align with personal goals or values. When the desire to fit in becomes stronger than the desire to make thoughtful decisions, peer influence begins to shape behavior. Peer pressure does not usually appear as a dramatic or obvious moment. In most cases, it arrives quietly. A friend suggests trying something, a group encourages skipping responsibility, or someone makes a comment implying that refusing would make you look uncool. Because these situations seem ordinary, they can feel harmless in the moment, yet small decisions often create patterns. When similar choices repeat over time, those patterns gradually influence habits, and habits influence the direction a person's life takes. To better understand how this works, consider a student named Marcus. Marcus is a sophomore who has been working hard to improve his grades. The night before an upcoming math test, he spends several hours reviewing practice problems and checking his notes. By the time he finishes studying, he feels prepared and proud of the effort he put in. The next morning, he arrives at school focused on doing his best. As Marcus approaches his locker, a few friends call him over. They have a different plan for the morning. Instead of attending the first class, they want to leave campus for breakfast and return later. They joke about how boring the class will be and how easy it would be to miss it just once. Marcus laughs politely, but inside he feels uncertain. Skipping class could affect his test preparation, and he knows the teacher will likely notice his absence. At the same time, he worries that refusing might make him seem overly serious. This situation lasts only a short moment, yet it illustrates the way peer pressure often works. The decision itself appears small, but the choice represents something larger. Marcus must decide whether to follow the group or remain consistent with the priorities he set the night before. Situations like this are common in schools, and the outcome often depends on whether someone pauses long enough to think independently. Peer pressure can take several forms. Sometimes it is direct, where someone clearly encourages another person to do something. In other cases, the influence is indirect. A group might behave in a certain way, creating an expectation that everyone else will behave similarly. Even without words, that expectation can affect decision-making. When friends are watching or reacting, choices that would normally be simple can suddenly feel complicated. Despite its reputation, peer influence is not always harmful. The same social connections that create pressure can also encourage positive behavior. Students who surround themselves with motivated and supportive peers often find themselves inspired to work harder. Friends who care about improvement may remind one another to study, practice sports consistently, or stay disciplined in their responsibilities. In those situations, the group environment becomes a source of growth rather than distraction. The key difference lies in the direction of influence. Positive peer pressure pushes individuals toward better habits, while negative peer pressure encourages decisions that undermine progress. Recognizing this distinction helps students evaluate the impact their social circles have on their goals. Returning to Marcus, he pauses at his locker and thinks about the effort he invested in preparing for the test. He remembers the time spent reviewing formulas and solving problems. Instead of acting quickly, he takes a brief moment to consider the consequences. After thinking about what matters most to him, Marcus calmly responds that he plans to attend class. His answer is simple and respectful, without criticism or argument. The response surprises his friends slightly, but the conversation moves on quickly. One friend shrugs, another laughs, and the group walks away to continue their plan. Marcus closes his locker and heads toward the classroom, feeling confident in the choice he made. By staying consistent with his priorities, he reinforces a habit that will benefit him far beyond that single morning. Experiences like this highlight an important lesson about confidence. Many people imagine that standing up to peer pressure requires dramatic speeches or confrontations. In reality, confidence is often quiet. A calm and clear response communicates self-respect and personal boundaries. When someone shows certainty about their decision, others frequently accept it without much resistance. Another valuable lesson involves the nature of friendships. Healthy friendships are built on respect. Friends who genuinely care about your well-being will not pressure you to damage your goals or reputation. Instead, they understand that everyone has responsibilities and ambitions. When someone consistently encourages behavior that harms progress, it becomes necessary to question whether that influence supports personal growth. Peer pressure can also appear in situations involving gossip or teasing. Groups sometimes begin discussing another student in a negative way to gain attention or laughter. Participating in those conversations might feel easier than standing apart, but choosing not to contribute demonstrates integrity. Respect for others reflects strong character, and maintaining that respect often requires the courage to resist group behavior. During the teenage years, popularity can sometimes feel extremely important. Social media, trends, and group dynamics can create the impression that approval from others determines success. Yet with time, many people realize that popularity fades quickly. The individuals who make the greatest progress are usually those who focus on building skills, knowledge, and meaningful experiences rather than chasing temporary recognition. Confidence doesn't appear overnight. It grows through effort, practice, and small improvements over time. When students dedicate themselves to learning new skills or improving their academic performance, they begin to trust their abilities more. That growing sense of confidence reduces the need for approval from others. As self-belief strengthens, the pressure to follow the crowd becomes easier to resist. One practical strategy for handling difficult moments involves asking a simple question. Will my future self be proud of this decision? Thinking about the future shifts attention away from immediate reactions and toward long-term goals. Instead of worrying about how friends might respond in the moment, students begin considering the person they want to become. This mindset encourages thoughtful decision-making. When individuals align their actions with their values and ambitions, they create consistency between their choices and their goals. Over time, consistent decisions strengthen personal identity and build a reputation for reliability. Everyone encounters peer pressure at some stage in life. Experiencing it does not mean someone lacks strength or independence. It simply reflects the reality that people live in social environments where relationships influence behavior. What truly matters is the ability to pause, reflect, and choose actions that align with personal priorities. Each time a student chooses responsibility over convenience, they reinforce habits that contribute to success. Small decisions accumulate over months and years, shaping opportunities and outcomes. Those choices gradually build discipline, resilience, and self-respect. Students who develop these qualities often find that others begin to respect their independence. Leadership does not begin with controlling others or seeking attention. Instead, it begins with the ability to remain consistent with personal values, even when circumstances challenge them. Your future will be influenced by the decisions you make today. Academic effort, personal integrity, and thoughtful choices create opportunities that extend far beyond school. While friendships and social experiences are valuable parts of life, they should never require sacrificing your long-term goals. That is why ETP Next Generation exists. Our mission is to support students as they grow into confident individuals who think independently and make responsible decisions. By understanding challenges like peer pressure and learning practical ways to handle them, young people can build the discipline and character needed for a successful future. If this message helped you see peer pressure from a new perspective, consider sharing it with a student who might benefit from hearing it. And remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos designed to help the next generation build confidence, strengthen character, and prepare for the opportunities ahead.